Alright, hi everyone. So, as you can see, I am now the owner of a next-gen console, the PlayStation 4. Hurrah! Okay, so what I decided I would do is, because I've had this system for a short while now, and I've kind of got to know how it works a bit and played a couple of the games on it. I'll basically tell you a bit about the system, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and basically whether I think it's a good investment to get now, or if you should probably hold off on a bit. So, as you can see, I got the NAC bundle, which comes with a copy of NAC, and I got this for an amazing deal, actually. If you can go to, I don't know, Game or somewhere and see if they've got any bundle deals going on, because there are some pretty good offers out there. Anyway, yeah, I got it with NAC. Yeah, I know NAC's kind of, well, it's not doing that great in the ratings, but I did want to try it because I have been sort of interested in it, so yeah, that's probably mainly the reason why I got this version. And anyway, here is the machine itself. Okay, so yeah, it's laid down like this purely because it'll be a bit dangerous if I had it upright and moving my hands about. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest, when they first announced this, I wasn't too crazy on the design. I didn't like it, but I have to say, as time has gone on and now it's here, I do really like the design. And also the fact when it's on my desk and it's turned on, I'm not really looking at it, I'm looking at the television. Anyway, so yeah, there isn't really anything too much to say about the actual design of it, other than it's like this wedge shape. It's kind of rough here and it's got like a glossy finish here, so yeah, lots of fingerprints. And it says Sony there, and you can probably just make out it says PlayStation 4 down there. Okay, oh yeah, and here is the power button, and it's kind of like, you might remember the original PlayStation 3 buttons, how you kind of just wave your finger over them and they would activate. Yeah, it's a little bit like that on this. Whilst they do press down slightly, the slightest touch will activate those buttons, so definitely keep it out of the way of I don't know, kids or adults that don't know what they're doing, or pets. But yeah, the slightest touch will activate those. So, kind of alright, I guess. And we've got two USB slots there for controllers. And on the back, being really careful I don't scratch the table, you have, if you can see it, a million different air vents. And believe me, these are needed. Because after about an hour's worth of play, the system does get noticeably warm. Not hot, noticeably warm. So yeah, it's a good thing they've got all these vents on the back. And you've got a HDMI out, Ethernet cable, and you've got a optical digital, is that one? And I'm not sure what that one is, I can't remember. And the power switch. Okay, so what do I think about the system in general? It's pretty good. I'm gonna, well, put it like this, when you start it up you get the, basically the programming section where you put in all your profile details, and you will see instantly there is a clear leap. Now I have to admit, when they announced the next gen consoles, I was a bit, well, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 look pretty good as it is. Is there going to be a noticeable leap in quality? Yes, there is a huge leap. Okay, for starters, as current PS3 owners will know, the default, what's it called? UI, the operating system, I'm not sure. You know when you start off your PlayStation 3 and you get the big menu? That. The PlayStation 4 version of that is a lot better. It looks brighter, it's clearer, there's not as much, I don't know, distractions, text going on, there's big pictures, there's icons. Well, there is text if you want it there, but it's mainly icons and just a tiny bit of text, and the blue background really does make it look a lot clearer than the current black background that you get default on the PlayStation 3. And yes, I know themes can improve that, but anyway. You will also notice that it runs a lot faster, and we're talking about stuff like if you have hundreds or even thousands of trophies on your account. If you go to your account on your PlayStation 3 and you click sync, it can sometimes take from 1 to 2 minutes to get them all up. On this one, it takes about 10 seconds. Yeah, it is really quickly. It goes really fast. I was really surprised at that. There's other stuff on here that I haven't really looked into too much, but the Twitch TV streaming is there. It is so simple. It's literally just click on one part of the one menu and it will load everything up, and you can just hop in and hop out of different channels. And yeah, you could even stream your own stuff if you have a PlayStation camera or directly from the game. And I don't have a camera yet. I might get one in the future when the prices come down a little bit. So yeah, I'll have to look into that one, but it does look really simple. The biggest improvement is the PlayStation Store. If any of you PS3 owners out there have tried getting on the store since they redesigned it, you will know it's awful. This is so much better. Literally the store loads up instantly. Navigating it is smooth, it's fast, it's responsive, everything loads up, the pictures make sense, they're positioned really well. I'm not too fussed still on the design of the PlayStation Store, but the fact that you could tell this has been designed for that store in mind, it works fantastically. It really is amazing. And yeah, when it's lit up, there's like a blue light that appears here, which does look pretty cool, I guess. And that light also changes colours depending on whether the system is loading or shutting down or if it's in operation. So it's kind of cool. It's basically the Cylon light that I call it. Alright then, what else should I talk about? Oh yeah, I did try the Link stuff, you know how you can have a Vita and stream it to this. Now I have to say, I have tried using that for my PlayStation 3. One game that comes to mind is Tokyo Jungle, and it was kind of alright. There was a bit of lag there, and there was kind of a bit of a delay, and it didn't look as good. But I tried it with this and Killzone Shadowfall, and I was amazed. There really is no lag, there's no delay in the response time. The only problems I had with it was the audio is a little bit quiet, and the fact that the Vita doesn't have L2 or R2, you have to use the touch screen. Now, it might take some practice, but I don't think a lot of games are going to be really good with remote game because of that problem. Things that come to mind might be racing games and maybe some beat-em-ups. Probably best just to stick with the usual PS4. And there's another part of the system which I don't like. Originally I was going to have it laid flat because I don't really like consoles standing up. Have a look at this. You see that? There's actually they say it's not a design flaw, but it clearly is. There's like some rubber, I don't know what you call them, like prop things. There's one on here, one here, and one at the back. But there's one missing from this side, so the console is constantly doing this if you lay it flat. Now, this might not be a problem because what I will probably do, like with my PlayStation 3, is I'm going to prop it up with some pads or something that I've got, which allows a lot more airflow, and it cools the console down a lot better, so it will run better and it will last a hell of a lot longer. But so for now, that means I have to actually have it upright, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's what you've got to do. I'm guessing they will probably change this when the inevitable design change comes out, but it is something to be aware of. You can't really lay it flat without something to compensate for the wobble. Okay, next up, the joypad, or controller. It's a controller, isn't it? Why am I calling it a joypad? Now, I have read that people were raving about this, saying it was one of the best controllers they've had in years, and I actually tried an Xbox One controller before I got my hands on this one, and I thought the Xbox One controller was fantastic. So, yeah, Sony's going to have to do something pretty amazing to top that. This is the best controller I have ever had. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I had this was the triggers. Now, on my PlayStation 3, I actually have some third-party things that you can put on there to make proper triggers. This one has them as default, and it is so much nicer than the old PS3 pad. Everything feels responsive. I love the fact it's a different, I want to call it texture, but let's call it material on the back of the controller grip, so it's smooth against the palms of your hand, but you can actually grip it and hold it. The analog sticks, not sure about. They're definitely better than my old PS3 ones, but that might be because my older PS3 pads is a little bit worn now. But they feel pretty good. D-pad feels awesome as well. Buttons are really responsive and they feel really sturdy as well. Really, really good. This thing hasn't sold me just yet. Now, it is like a touchpad. It is very, very responsive, if you get Killzone, you'll find out just very quickly just how responsive it is. And it does also act as a button. So I'm kind of interested to see what, if anything, developers will do with this. It hasn't sold me just yet, just because it's a bit fiddly to sort of lean. You can see how I usually play games like, with my thumb like that, and that if I need to, and fingers up here. So it is kind of, probably see having to lean over. Another thing as well that's taken me a long time to get used to is the lack of a start button. Like I had to press options or hit the PS home button. I haven't used share just yet. I probably won't do for a while. And let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, you might notice that I've actually activated the Cylon beam here. This thing is pretty cool, but also kind of pointless in a way as well. It does change the display depending on what your character is doing in the game. Killzone especially, when you start it, it will be green, and as you take damage it gradually turns to red. It's kind of cool, but at the same time pretty pointless since you won't see it. Oh, another thing that really surprised me is, you see here there's the speaker. When I picked up an audio log in Killzone, it actually played through the speaker and not through the television audio, and this thing is loud, and in fact it actually startled me a little bit because I thought, well, what's that? And it was actually coming out of here. So I can see in future games probably taking advantage of this. It wouldn't surprise me if when the next Metal Gear Solid comes out, that when you get on the codec, maybe the audio will come out of this, but yeah, I'm not too sure on that one just yet. But it is pretty awesome actually having a speaker built on there. And yeah, I know the original Wii controller did it, but not too many games took advantage of that. So the fact that Killzone, the launch title, does is a little bit surprising, and I really do hope that other developers take that on board. I'm not sure what else to say, just that this is a controller that feels like it was designed for people to play games as opposed to it being designed to look aesthetically pleasing with the console. And whilst it does kind of fit it, and it's not, I don't know, saying it's an ugly controller. I don't think I don't know, do people call controllers ugly? Anyway, it does look good, but it feels like the first controller for a long time that was actually designed for people to play games with. It's really comfortable, it's really well made, and so far I've got no complaints at all with how things react and how stuff responds. Okay, so I guess I should talk about a couple of the games I played. Now, as you probably tell, I got the Knack pack, but I haven't actually played Knack yet. I don't know why, I just haven't really... I do want to play it, but at the same time I haven't... It's not really... There's other games on the system that I really want to try out. So yeah, I can't really comment on Knack just yet, but... Oh yeah, something I want you to look at. This was the game that came with this, and you can see there, not to be sold separately, and it actually has the PS4 seal. Here's my copy of Killzone. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, you got a second-hand copy. No, this is a new copy. What do you mean? Okay, when I got this, I asked in the store if they actually had any copies of Killzone Shadowfall, and the guy said, yes, we have a second-hand copy, but it's sealed. I'll show you what I mean. And he brought out this. And as you can see, if I bring it next to Knack, it was like that, only it was sealed up. So what had happened is somebody had bought the PlayStation 4, and it had Killzone Shadowfall in it. They'd not wanted the game, so they'd instantly traded it in and got something else. And he said, we've got a bunch of games like this. So if you've got a next-gen console, I would ask your store, if you're after a game but want to save a heck of a lot of money, if they have any sealed pre-owned copies of the game. Because they probably do, because they are taking them in and they are selling them, even though they're not supposed to. So what do I think of Killzone Shadowfall? It's okay. It's a bit generic shootery, but it looks fantastic. It really does. it really does show off the PS4 and all the stuff it can do, but at the minute it kind of feels like I'm just shooting wave after waves of enemies. I'm not very far in the game. There's this robot that you can summon, and it can do stuff like hack things, put up shields, and attack enemies, which does let you add some degree of tactics to it so you can take out situations differently. But it doesn't really do much new other than really show off the console and the fact, yes, this is what next-gen stuff's going to look like. It's kind of okay. The story's a bit, yeah, I can see what you're trying to do, and yeah, there is like a bit of a moral compass thingy here going on with the plot, but yeah, it hasn't really sold me just yet. Maybe if I get into it, it might change that, but don't go into this expecting a revolutionary first-person shooter. It's not, but it's still a pretty good first-person shooter, and it's kind of fun. And if you want something that will show off the console, this is definitely the one for you. Now, the other game I got is not a physical one. It's actually Resogun, and I got that free with the PlayStation Plus. And Resogun is, wow. I was amazed. Really wasn't expecting much from it, but it blew me away. It's my favourite game on the system. It's kind of like, you might remember an old game called Defender, in which you're flying around a spaceship and you're rescuing humans shooting aliens. It's kind of like that, but it looks amazing. The particle effects, the number of enemies on screen, the music, there's like this voice which constantly comes out of here saying human detected, and it warns you when certain ships are coming into attack. The boss battles, I thought the boss battles were incredible. I haven't gone very far again because it does get really challenging, but I think it's made by the same guys that made Super Stardust HD, and I really enjoyed that game, and I'm really enjoying Resogun. So if you get a PlayStation 4, definitely get Resogun. It is so worth it. Alright, now the question. Would I recommend this now? Probably. I wouldn't get one of these just yet if you want to play Knack or Killzone, because I don't think they fully justify it. I would, however, recommend you get one if you already have a PlayStation 3 or a Vita and you have PlayStation Plus and have been downloading or putting on your account the PlayStation Plus games, because then it does become worth it because you have a huge catalogue of games there already. In fact, another game I'm looking to try out is Contrast and the console version of Don't Starve. So there already I have quite a large library of games, and yet the only one I've bought separately is Killzone. With that in mind, yes, I would say it's worth it. Though probably maybe if you're not going to be going for a PlayStation Plus membership, maybe give it a while until some more actual physical games come out that you can pick up. Because, yeah, I wouldn't say for the actual box titles it's a good investment right now. I haven't tried Assassin's Creed 4, so I don't really know. Can't say too much about that. FIFA is... it's FIFA. And what are the other ones that are out for it? Oh yeah, and Call of Duty, of course. Well, which is Call of Duty, so you know what you're getting there. So yeah, I would recommend it if you have PlayStation Plus already and you have been getting the games on your account via the web store that they set up last year. Probably not so much if you haven't got PlayStation Plus yet and you don't have the backlog of games on your account. But it is a brilliant system. It is so much better than the PS3, and I'm not just talking about technically superior. The actual design layout of the store, of the main menu when you get on there, the control pad is fantastic. I really can't rate this enough. So yeah, I'm guessing my response is, should you get one? Yes, you should, but is probably the conclusion I can draw on that. If you have PlayStation Plus and you've got the backlog of PS4 games, definitely pick this one up. Oh, if you have a Vita as well, you are going to love the remote play. You really will love it. It's fantastic. If you don't have a Vita and if you don't have a backlog of games on PSN Plus, probably give it I don't know, maybe until the summer when there's going to be a backlog of games then for it, and probably Metal Gear will be out by then. There'll be a lot of other titles too, more games will have been announced for the system. Then it probably will definitely be a good investment opportunity. Okay guys, guess that's all I've got to say on it. Hope you found this interesting, and I hope it sort of, I don't know, helps you out on the decision to get a PS4 or not if you haven't decided yet. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.